USA in the late 1990s. Raised my 4 kids over here, then took the retirement, and then it was time for me to go back to Pakistan to do something good for my home country. Pakistan was always in my heart. So when I was moving back to Pakistan, my youngest son, he told me, go and do whatever you want, but when you will need us, we will be there. So they were paving their way over here, and I was starting my mission, which correlate with Imran Khan. Like, I don't say that I support Imran Khan. Imran Khan is the one who was taking care of my mission. So we have to support him. When I went to Pakistan in 2022, after my retirement, I started going to the protest. I went to Zamanpur a few times. I met so many nice people having the same ambitions to bring the good change for the Pakistan. In the last 30 years, it was so sad to see that Pakistani condition was so deteriorating. There were a few people or a few families taking advantages, and rest of the millions of people, they were suffering. And when we live in those advanced countries, when we went back, it was so sad to see the disparity and not having opportunities for a common man. So I remember meeting so many positive mind people, including women, which was a drastic change to see in our society. More than 50% of population is women, and to see them into our main media to work for beyond their self. They were doing a lot of activities in different, other than political, like on education, environment, and all those needed areas. Definitely, PTI was doing a lot of good movements in that direction under the guidance of or leadership of Imran Khan. I still remember, and I can't express those feelings through my words. Those emotions were up and down. First time I went to Islamabad in a jalsa, in a coaster, I met so many nice, dedicated, from all walk of life, women, old and young, educated, uneducated, rich and poor. When you see a person, you don't see their status, you just see a person, regardless of their gender and their socioeconomic status. They were all crazy about the mission to bring the change in Pakistan. I was involved in participate in many activities, including May 9th. I remember those feelings. Everyone was so frustrated. When I went to, it was initially planned to be in Liberty. When I went to Liberty, I didn't see much people, so then I found out they are going to Corps Commander House. I don't have any family background of army, so I didn't know what Corps Commander stand for and where does he live, because Kent area is a no-go area for the civilian. You can't enter into that area without proving your identity. It was getting dark, and when I went there was no hurdle for us. I used the public transportation. I went there in a rickshaw, and a lot of people were going there. When I went there, it was getting dark, and soon after the dark, I started listening to firing, but people were peaceful over there. Nobody did, except when they started shelling. Then I saw a few people start burning a few dead bushes to create the smoke to cancel the effect of that shelling. The shelling, they were moving towards us, and when I was turning back, I fell down, I hurt myself badly. A young guy held my hand and keep on pulling me away from those shellings. Then after a while, I told him, you go and I will make it. I met so many nice people when people were running here and there. Firing was there. Some people were, I heard that some people got hurt and they were taking them to the hospitals. But people were still staying there. After a while, I saw some people said that there is a fire in the Corps Commander house, which I saw it from the distance. But then they started burning Girja Chowk. Some trees were burned. I didn't recognize those people, it was so dark. And then I heard that the rangers were there, and I was not aware of all those forces, all those labels, what is happening. I stayed there and I didn't have any vehicle to come back, so I waited for some people. I carpooled with them and they dropped me at my home. Next day, when my kids were living here, they came to know that I was hurt over there. They were panicky. They wanted me to come back earlier because I was planning to come back on 26th of May. They said, okay, it is not safe over there, so just come back earlier. And I said, okay, it is only 2 more weeks. I will be back in 2 weeks. But on May 16th, after the midnight at 1 a.m., there were 10 to 12 people. They came at my door. I couldn't recognize them. They were not in police uniform. They entered in my house. As a family background of a daughter of a judge, my father was a barrister, but we didn't live close to the criminal activities. But I knew that nobody can enter your home. So I asked them, show me your identity while you are entering into my home. Show me a warrant for my capture. They didn't answer me. So I thought in my head, okay, they are coming to investigate me and I didn't do anything wrong, so I will be free. So they took me outside the house. They forced me to sit in a police van over there, and then they went away in other direction. When I came to the police station, the police officer said that we didn't catch you, there was someone else, they handed over to us. The next day my brother was looking for me everywhere, they didn't know where they took me, but he came to the police station, brought me some food and told me the story is not simple, it is they are creating some big case against people of Pakistan. When he left after that, they put me in a small car with 3 other guys and keep on moving around in the city, Lahore city. It is not, as you all know, I'm not young, but I feel like I'm young. So they were moving me around the city, but it is not appropriate for that society to sit in a small car with 3 strangers. They took me to another station. After a couple of hours, another lady from PTI supporter, she came and she was crying so badly. She was young and she said for 5-6 hours they are driving in the streets of Lahore. We stayed awake. The next day they took us to the ADC court. And I was not sure, they didn't tell us why they caught me, where they are taking me. They were not doing any question answers to us. So I think we were not needed by the police, it was some other force. Now I think back, but I was not sure what they are doing to us. But after presenting us to the ADC court, they asked us to wear a plastic badge on their face, which was so humiliating and insulting to me. Because I lived so respectfully in Pakistan and over here. I was never treated like that. After that, they put us in a van and took us to the Kot Lakhpat jail. Okay, I heard about Kot Lakhpat jail, but now I'm going there without telling me the crime I didn't commit. I went there, I met a few other PTI supporter and worker over there. And for 2.5 weeks, nobody in my family knew where I was. They knew that they took me to Kot Lakhpat jail, but they were not aware that how I was living there. What is happening to me? My kids, they came to knew that police took me, so my daughter especially, but all four of them, they made a team and doing all the struggle for me. But then I was in the dark over there. You know, Pakistani jail is not a place anyone wants to go there. It is not a developed countries. The condition in the jail in May and June weather was very extremely hot. But the PTA supporter ladies keep on coming. They were from our walk of life, a house helper to a billionaire lady. And we were still didn't know what our offense was. After a few days, they put a paper on our door that we committed 27 crimes, including 302, which is like killing someone, making bombs and all those, burning the buildings. We were not given any opportunity to talk to our family. We didn't know what is happening outside the jail. Conditions were not good, but I think I was strong enough to handle all those things. Except I lost my freedom and I was wasting my time in jail. After 2.5 weeks, they did the identity parade, and most of those police officers, they identified me doing all those crimes which I never committed. So our pictures were everywhere outside the jail, so people knew us. It is like a planned agenda to involve us into those activities, which I realized later on, but at that time I didn't know what I was going through. My family was upset, my kids over here were upset, they wanted me to come back. Every human being is born with the freedom. You have freedom and you have responsibilities. I was not given my freedom over there to do my responsibilities, which was very hurtful for me. Extreme weather, food quality, environments, bathrooms, they didn't mean a lot to me. It was just that I couldn't do what I wanted to do. The same with Imran Khan. We were living in a small size, like it was 9 by 12 cells with 3 bunk beds, an Indian toilet, and one small faucet. And I understand now people are saying Imran Khan is living inside that cell, and I experienced. But the difference is I was not alone. I was with 4 other girls, including Alia Hamza, Sanam Javed, Tayyaba Raja, and Mariam Azari. And then at the end, Shabnam Jangir, a 75 plus years old lady, came. She was living at Sarwar Road. She was a wife of ex-Major General, and she was brought over there too. So, young and old, professional, non-professional, I met so many people over here. There, I met a lot of regular prisoners. Jail was not a good place to go, but I got experience. So I got my identity and I got my voice. My family did a lot for me, so after 36 days, I was released from jail, but I was still under surveillance. I was on no-fly list, so I couldn't come back to my kids. I told my brother that I was in a small jail, now I'm in a big jail in Pakistan because I can't move anywhere. Soon after the jail I was hiding, but after a month or two I told my brother I can't live like that, I want my freedom. So I started moving around, I started meeting other people, and then I knew what is happening in the country. In jail you have limited access to the social media. The TV channels are only, we can see, are the only which are run by the government. So when I got back, I could not come back to my peers. You know, everyone have a family. There are other people. My condition was not as bad as my kids were independent, and I was they have sick member of the family, which was very difficult for them. So I feel lucky that I came across to meet so many people over there, except again say that freedom. Freedom is, that's why we want freedom for our country. If we are living in a Pakistan which is free, but actually it is not free. So unseen forces are running that country without the will of people of Pakistan. Finally, after I think almost 10 months, I made it possible to get out of country through Peshawar because my brother said that there is a PTI government. If you try to leave the country, they might not let you go, but they might not put you back in jail. So I went to Riyadh, and then after Riyadh, I came here. I think, as I said, that I'm not a public speaker, so I missed so many things which I need to tell you. But my point is, I was captured without committing any crime. I was not told, there was no proof that I did something wrong. And still there are so many people in jail, including Imran Khan. So where is the criminal activity to put all those people in jail? And our country is suffering because of those illegal activities done by unseen forces. I want a free country, and I want freedom for everyone to enjoy their life. Tasneem Rahmani gave me a good advice to do practice, to speak to someone. I was doing it in front of my kids, but I think everything is out of my mind. I'm speaking what is coming in my mind. So if you have any question, you can ask me.
I want to ask you, like you've been through so much, you went to Pakistan, you were in jail. Will you continue this struggle again, and will you go to Pakistan again? Will you be not afraid of going in jail again?
Very good question. You know, every phone, I call my friend, I want to go back to Pakistan badly when I'm mentally and physically fit. I put my will when I was going to Pakistan. I said, if I die over there, bury me in our family Kabristan. And if I die over here, because after leaving Pakistan, when you go to another country, you don't belong to countries, you belong to this land. And this land is for everyone. If the things are better, if Imran Khan is in power today, I will go back tomorrow. It is, every one of us want to go back, but with this situation, nobody wants to go back.
I'm going to add here, my brother was in Karachi and he ran for a PTI Imran Khan from Karachi, certain area. He was underground to manage all the PTI, like leadership told him to go underground. His wife couldn't work for many days, his children couldn't go to school, and he tried to move to America because he already had visas and all that. So till his plane didn't fly, we all were scared. And he was the one dedicated worker, but he got scared because of 3 daughters and 1 wife. So he had to come back to America to save his family. Everybody is not courageous like Imran Khan.
You're right. I'm in the same mood as Imran Khan. Because my kids were free. I don't have any worries about my kids' future. They can do whatever they want. It is just me. I'm retired. I didn't have to lose the job. I don't have to lose any opportunities. And I want to do what I want to do. By staying in Pakistan, I can do so many good things.
But now we all are with you.
I wish, every phone I ask my brother, I want to come back so badly. Pakistan is in my heart. My kids knew that I said, I'm not leaving you. You do whatever you want, but I want to do what I want.
Thank you so much, Abhay. Thank you. Before she leaves, I want to ask,
One more question. Excuse me. One more question. Last question.
be very loud.
Yes, it's
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, scream it out.
First of all, you did very well. You have nothing to apologize for. Secondly, I just had a simple question. Are you an American citizen?
Yes, I have dual citizenship.
Did the embassy do anything, American embassy?
Very good question. I didn't mention that. My daughter was involved with all the medias and embassy. And I used to live in Iowa, Sioux City, Iowa. I think they didn't let them come. There was only 2 Pakistani American women in jail. One was me, which was nobody. Now I'm somebody. And the other one was Khadija Shah, which was a well-known, successful businessman lady. She was American citizen by birth. I was naturalized. American embassy people, they came very late. I think my assumption is they came to see which conditions I'm living in. And they tried to ask some questions, but the jail owner was there. They didn't let us talk in isolation. They tried to give me some papers and I can write down something. They refused it. They said, okay, she will write down and we will pass it on to you after a few days. So they didn't let us communicate with them. But it is sad that American embassy didn't help us getting out of that situation, other than they just came to see us that which situation we are living in. They didn't give us any hope.
My only
Thank
advice
you.
is that any American citizen visiting Pakistan should inform the State Department before they go.
Thank you so much for the advice. Thank you.
Good advice.
Please give a round of applause. But before she leaves, I want to recognize Puma and Faisal. Are you guys here? Right? So, Sumayya, she's a mature, strong person, right? When she was telling me about this story, I was concerned, but I could see her attitude.